You're welcome.
Truths clash like broken dreams. Raise your voice, let it scream. What's real in this foggy light? Battle hard till the morning light. Feel the hunger of the crowd, anxious to erupt so loud. Unity in discord's tide. Witness as their worlds collide. Howling up in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one's rage. We're offended till offended, that's the way. Cling unite with the things we say. We say. We say.
Why are you thinking?
We say. We say. We say.
How do I get rid of this? Get this out of here. You're muted, you dingus. You
That's
darkest
okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim. This is Tyler. Sometimes. And it is, oh God, it's Monday. Just Monday. Only Monday. Ugh. Anyway, hope everyone's had a fantastic weekend. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. Don't forget to hit the little subscribe button down below. And thank you for clicking on the little button to come sit with us and listen to the craziness going on in the world today.
Yeah, so we're going to be going over a citizen-led petition to keep Alberta within Canada, which actually might backfire for the former Thomas Lukaszuk Sack. Thomas loves Sack. I believe he was NDP, if I remember. But yeah, so this actually might backfire depending how this all goes. But so we will be talking about that. Also, back in 2023, I don't know if you guys remember this story. I remember vaguely hearing about it, but I believe it was a family that tried to cross, I think, from Quebec into New York State, if I remember correctly, has been charged.
At the height of COVID?
In 2023.
Yeah. Was this still at the height of COVID? I can't even remember. It lasted like forever.
No. 23 is basically like when it ended.
Okay.
It's basically done. Yeah,
Carry
but so this lady is now being charged for trying to smuggle a family that ended up dying, trying to smuggle them into the United States. So she's been extradited to the United States to face the crimes of smuggling and all that super cool stuff.
Wait, they died on their way into the States?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. And there's a viral video coming out of Toronto where the police ran over a suspect in a car who was being detained. It's pretty Benny Hill's theme song, going on right there. The fuck! I just took my key off. So we will of course talk about that and much. What the hell did I do here? I broke my stuff. We will talk about that and much more. Hello, Nokian, Todd, Mr. L.A. Wang. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
I think that says Wing, not Wang. BT dubs.
Yeah, but he's Asian, so
Sup, knife.
Them's the breaks. Yeah, so hello everyone on X, on YouTube. I see you guys over on Rumble, you silent majority over there. Of course, if you guys do like the show, share it with your friends. Let's have a good one. And but before we do,
hearts are burning. How can we dance when our earth is turning?
All right, let's just get right into this. This is the wrong article. We look up here. Here we go. So this is from CTV News, and it's so it calls, I guess it's titled "Elections Alberta Working to Verify Overwhelming Support for Anti-Separatist Petition." So this is actually in response to the Alberta Prosperity Project, which has basically put the question forward: should Alberta leave Confederation? Should it leave Canada? Should the province and become independent? That, as far as I know, was a grassroots movement, but so we'll go over this. I'll just read this quickly. A citizen-led petition that opposes the idea of Alberta separating from Canada is now being reviewed by Elections Canada and, if verified, will be handed over to the province in 2026. Former Deputy Premier Thomas Sack, get a normal name.
I think I like the love sock better.
Thomas
Lukaszak?
Lukaszak. I don't know, man. And a team of about 6,500 volunteers, real grassroots movement, if you ask me, has been collecting signatures throughout the province for the past 3 months. The petition asks, do you agree that Alberta should remain within Canada? They needed 249,000 signatures, but completed the petition with more than 456,000. Love Shack, baby. Yeah, there we go. We knew the vast majority of Albertans want to remain Canadian. Hence, we are not asking for a referendum, said Thomas, who started the petition to oppose calls for an Alberta independence referendum. We're asking the Premier to do the right thing and ask Alberta MLAs to vote on this issue and put separatist talks to bed once and for all. Signatures on the petition need to be verified by Elections Alberta over the next 60 days. This is the first citizen-led petition. Citizen-led.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The former Deputy Premier of Alberta. Real citizen kind of guy. Yeah, okay, dude. It has received, but it's
Regular old Joe there.
Yeah, just some nobody. But it has trained for scenarios like this, and it will have staff working 7 days a week, checking all signatures and contacting some people who signed by phone and email. So, yeah. So with this petition being presented, I guess, before the Alberta legislature, this could actually trigger. So there is already the Alberta Prosperity Project, which is called basically the inverse of this, which they had reached enough signatures for that question to. Is he an old school? Is he a UCP before the UCP was a UCP?
Are you down with PPC? Or UPC?
I don't.
Yeah, you know
UPC
me. I don't
labels.
know.
But so the Alberta Prosperity Project has already submitted a petition in the inverse that they think, or do you think that Alberta should separate from Canada? So with these two petitions now being verified, I guess, or at least the question will be asked, and if there is enough UCP support where they say yes, this could actually mean the mechanisms start moving, the cogs in the machine start moving for Alberta to separate. So that's why this thing could backfire big time on on groups like the NDP, because now this question has to be answered. Should Alberta remain a part of Canada? Either for or against. But yeah, we had 6,500 volunteers. I think the Alberta Prosperity Project basically just put up not like a change.org, like it wasn't an official petition that they had to get signatures for, but not that many. Like They didn't have people going door to door, and you have to be really careful because I don't know exactly what the petition might say or what the person might say. Like, hey, there's these people that are trying to overthrow the government, or who knows, like just verbally what might come out. Like, do you really think they're just walking up to a door and say, "Read this, sign, bye"? No, they might be, kind of coaxing a question. Hey, do you like Alberta? Oh, you're a Canadian. Oh, a good Canadian family here. Oh, it's always good to see good old Canadians here in named city town in Alberta. And there's a question that's being proposed that actually Alberta wants to separate. So, like it's do you want these crazy do you want like it just you can ask these questions in a certain way to try and foment an idea after you kind of put in these leading questions of, well, if Alberta separates, and da, 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 da. Like it's I think they could really start actually pushing trying to spin a narrative here because the separatist movement within Alberta has been strong for a very, very long time. What say
it has.
ye?
I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened yet, to be honest. But I'd be curious to see like numbers, like what the numbers are of ones that want to separate, and then the numbers that are anti-separation. Like see how far they are from each other or close.
I know Alberta Prosperity Project.
Does PC stand for like Conservative Party? Like what
Progressive Conservative. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would have thought it would have been CP.
No, yeah, it's just Progressive Conservative, which is an oxymoron. You cannot be progressive and a conservative. I'm trying to see right on their website whether it actually says how many signatures, because you figured this would be up front and center. With their petition, like it's literally the question on their website. Like I could show you it right here. Like that's it. Do you agree that the province of Alberta shall become a sovereign country and cease to be a province in Canada?
I would also like to know how many of the people that signed this, if they're actually Alberta citizens or not. Like if this is just regular Canadians that are just having their 2 cents, or if it's people that live in Alberta. Like I'd be curious to know that too.
I'm just looking like maybe like a who can sign. I'm sure you probably I guess you could. By registering your intention to vote in favor of initiating a referendum on Alberta's independence, we can ensure that the provincial government will restructures Alberta's independent relationship in regards to Canada. If you're not, click here. Oh, it's just a Q&A kind of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they ended up getting enough signatures in order for them to for this to be brought before the I guess the government in Alberta. So there's gonna be questions one way or another. This question will be answered, but to say once and for all, I don't know. People can just resubmit it. This is a thing, like I think conservatives, like you guys, if this is really where these people truly believe that Alberta is better off on their own rather than being hamstrung or however they view like being in confederation, you can't stop. I've talked to a lot of people where they're like, I got this petition signed and it went before the government and it didn't pass, so fuck it. Everything sucks. Everything sucks here. Canada's lost because my petition didn't go through. It's like, man, when you look at the left, do you think like they started, and I know I've said this a million times before, Maybe that would be. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Um, I can't remember what I was saying. I burped and I forgot. My point went out with my mouth.
Oh my God. So while you're thinking of your point, there's a couple comments that are coming through.
Yeah, so I can't see he's old school. Yeah, climb. But I assume he's a prairie boar, born and bred. Yeah, unlike Pierre. That's true. I know Pierre's. He's. I told people that the riding that he went into, they hated Pierre. Only thing is, they hated that Bonnie Crombie or whatever that chick's name is. They only hated her more. They didn't like Pierre. They seen him as like a Toronto, a Toronto guy. He's just here for a seat. He really doesn't give a shit what what we think. He's just basically using us just to get back in Parliament. So
it's fair.
Well, you've seen this nobody, and this is the thing. Like, guys, you really got to recognize how the left, how the liberals actually operate. Because you've seen this Crombie chick was a nobody on no one's radar, literally no one's radar until that election. Then all of a sudden, peace was coming out, boosting this chick up. It came out of nowhere. So, like, you guys really got to recognize, like, this is how the liberals play. This is how they act. What's wrong with your face? Do you have AIDS?
What?
Your
No.
face is all like,
I hear the dogs fighting downstairs.
oh, I know.
No,
Right
the
outside my door.
dogs fighting downstairs. I must have like froze. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
are these born Canadians or immigrants? You'll never know. Nokian, you'll never know. As long as they're a citizen, I don't know. I don't know if this petition just has anyone living there, or if it's restricted to only citizens. Is it people with a student visa or something? I don't know. That I don't know. So hush, puppies. So at the same time, Alberta is bringing out digital ID hybrid pre-election. I have a bit of a different opinion with regards to the digital ID. I mean, like when Elon took, I know, like, what, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I know you guys can't hear them, but they're like going crazy down there. Jeez.
Oh, you can't hear them through my microphone? Fantastic. But when Elon took over or bought X, how many blue check marks signed up to give their name over? A lot of us did. I know I did. To get that blue check mark, I gave over my information. So, oh no. All right, I guess they're chilling out. But yeah, like Bonnie was a nothing. But it seemed really weird. Like, as you're saying, Todd, like, yeah, she was an independent candidate, but you seen how the media came out and backed her, that she's Alberta born and bred and all this other stuff. And look, she's a vet, but all of her talking points were liberal talking points. Every single one. She had nothing about, with regards to Alberta. No, I don't, at least not what I see or saw anyways. But yeah, it just seemed like Alberta hated her more than they hated Pierre. So
he was just a lesser of two evils then. Jesus.
My God, those two right now. Oh man. Oh well, Rebel. Yeah, well, Rebel's a little bit of a stick in the side of everyone. They yeah, whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with that. I don't know if this. How once you ask that question, should Alberta or should this thing happen? Yeah, you might AstroTurf and get the 450,000 signatures. But what if the UCP says, you know what? In speaking with my constituents, we're out of here. That could really be the position that they end up taking here. Well, I wanted Kim to see this next thing because I thought it was super funny.
I'm still here.
You are alive.
I'm still here. I am alive. Teehee.
Okay, I wanted to show this because this was actually pretty crazy to see. But I guess like guys out there, guys and gals, don't want to discriminate. If you're in that Alberta area, are you guys kind of getting that same sentiment? I don't know if you like. I don't know if an individual themselves would, but I'm sure if you brought it up with your MLA, saying like, this is the thing. Like if this is the move Alberta wants to take, you have to take the playbook from the left. It's phone calls, it's emails. Like it is non-stop. It is non-stop. Because like if I'm getting emails, say from like 10 people out of say a constituency of, I don't know, let's say 150,000, it looks like a lot. And this is how the left tends to operate. They have people that are phoning, they're leaving messages, they're pissed off, they're making their voices heard. And so if that's not where the left is, or the right, I guess, or these people that actually view it this way or want this to happen, if you're not phoning your MLAs every single day, then they're just gonna go, I'm not really hearing anything. Like, I'm not getting any phone calls. No one's really blying at me. I'm nothing. I'm not getting anything. So that's what, like, Albertans, if that's what you ultimately want, it's what you have to do.
I personally hate when people blah at me. It's really awkward.
It is a little bit. Like, I personally don't want Alberta to leave, because if Alberta leaves, Canada's dead. Canada dies right there. Canada dies with that vote. We have many, many mechanisms in place in order for, you know, for these types of things to change. There are a lot of mechanisms within Canada. In our legal system, in our parliamentary system, there are a lot of mechanisms there. And if this happens, like, I don't know. Maybe it's more of like look at how Quebec is. Quebec is quite independent. Like we kind of like shit on Quebec that that they're kind of protectionist and their laws are kind of contrary or contradictory to the rest of Canada, but they're fighting for their province, and they fight pretty tooth and frickin' nail on it. So okay,
say again. We shit on Quebec because why?
Well, because they're independent. Because they always they fight vehemently for their identity and their Nah, I mean, Craig?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they've been wanting to. That's another place in Canada that's been wanting to separate. They were talking about that since I was a kid. I remember saying, "Good, go away."
Well, yeah, and so they kind of just look at at themselves.
It's kind of crazy when you have. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody in the United States saying. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody in the United States saying that they want to separate from the United States and become part of Canada. Like, it's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, well, that whole thing was just a big
Did you die?
goofy.
No.
No, one thing I am noticing is that it's really, really choppy, and I'm not a fan of that right now. That's definitely not helping. But okay, well, can we just turn him into Chinese food? I mean that in the nicest way possible. I've been watching a lot of like the best food reviews. You're still muted. But
I'm muted now. Oh my god, it's like super. Hold on. Before I continue, it's your dog doing it. Your dog is starting it. I'm gonna try and restart my computer. You carry on.
okay, well, yeah, we'll try that because this is brutal. Oof, big oof. I see you later. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Well, these dogs are going absolutely berserk. They're going berserk. But they lost a lot of industry after the war, and slowly over the years it dwindled like everywhere else. Well, yeah, we shipped everything over to China and said, "Oh, well, we can we can do it cheaper. They can do it cheaper." And then all of a sudden we go, "Well, why do we have all these problems here? Like we're not manufacturing all that much." And I think COVID was a big wake-up call that when there were shipments of like 3M medical supplies and China's like, "Hey, that ship that has all that medical supplies, yeah, bring that back. That's not leaving. We need that more than you guys do. See ya." So, I mean, Newfoundland is it's a place. It's a place. It's definitely a place. If I do that, does that work? I can't. Do I like that? Maybe. Just ignore the thing on my left. You're right. But I did want to share like the video that I have coming.
Yeah.
Why?
Can you walk and play?
No.
What up?
Can we just oh man. On sideways quick. Okay. There. Okay. I will wait for Kim for this because this is pretty crazy. So you're supposed to be out of here. Burying the lead. Pearl. If that is your real name. Actually, I don't think it is. I think her name's like Hannah. I actually think her name is Hannah. I don't know. Noki, and I know you're out that way. Oh wait, no, you're not. Never mind. What do you think about the canola as biodiesel mix for the farm and fleet fuel? I mean, as long as it doesn't like if the engines are actually designed to take it, I don't have a problem. Dude, if my truck could smell like French fries driving down the highway, man, I know it's not like actual, like it's not like fry oil, but that would be hi. Did you get rid of one of them?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, no.
Yeah, I know you're in the capital of old Saskabush.
I was coming back in and it was showing like the hole in the studio is all black. So I'm like, oh my god, like everything DC.
Oh,
but
well, I want to let's take a look at this.
going to tell him that I wanted a divorce. I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him that I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present. Got us in like ASAP, like 2 days later. And I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. We sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? Therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. You know, it's hard for me to like say the words. I'm done. I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? He responded right away. And he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details. And that was that. I looked.
All right, I'll pause it there. What do you expect to happen?
I don't know. When she asked for a divorce, was she also shoving food in her mouth at the same time too? Because if you were asking for a divorce and you were shoving food in your mouth at the same time, I'd be like, oh, wow. All right, where's the paperwork? Like,
is that all it takes?
No. Fuck you.
But you see, like, chicks do this type of stuff. It's like, I want to see your emotion. And it's like, if for guys, like I've said, girls don't seem to understand this. I've seen so many polls have come out where girls are you know, the poll is asking, like, what do guys want in a relationship? And every single time I say peace. That's what we want. We want peace. I don't want to come home to a war. I don't want to have to fight for every bloody thing. I want to come home and just, that's it. Don't want to have to fight. So she's clearly, and this is one thing, you know, like, you know, anytime like I don't know, like think of like an old buddy of mine where it's like, yeah, he's having a divorce and you're like, well, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. Like they're just separating. I don't really know what's going on. Like he just said that this is what's going on, and that's really it. That's it. And so, you know, it's more of a, okay, she said, I want a divorce. And you went, all right, clearly the decision has already been made. I'm not going to sit here and fight and cry and all this crap with you.
Well, and the thing is, who knows what their home life was like? Like, to be fair, like, wow, I like dropped. We should, oh my God, we should turn this into a drinking game. Every time I say someone's got to take a shot.
My liver can't.
I said someone. I didn't say us. Somebody else. Anyway.
Well, you can't have other people play the game that you yourself will not partake in.
No, I am partaking. I'm the one saying like.
Yeah, but you're forcing them to play a game. That's messed up.
I'm giving them a game. God. Anyway.
It's so benevolent.
But what was I gonna say? Like, who knows what their home life is like? Like, if it was right? I know I did it again. If you and I are fighting all the time, and then all of a sudden you come up to me saying that you want a divorce. I mean, at some point with us constantly fighting, I would probably be thinking in the back of my head, like, this is probably going to happen. And if things don't get better, this is ultimately where it's going to end up leading. So if you were to say that, I would be thinking at that moment, all right, well, okay, I guess this is what we're going to have to do, because clearly they've been doing the counseling. Clearly it's not working.
Oh, you froze up again. That's fantastic. Stop it. But I do
an emergency session. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and I know like a lot of people that go for like couples counseling, it's like, no, don't, because what ends up happening is the wife wants the therapist to confirm all her stuff and blame the husband. There's a lot of that goes on. And
okay. I could see that, I guess, with some people, but I don't know. Like for me personally, that would not be the case at
Well,
all.
who instigates most of the divorces? Women, by a long margin. It's women, not men.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Here, I'll let it continue on.
Okay.
At my therapist, and I was just like kind of stunned. I knew that I was ready to leave, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy, there was no compassion, there was no like wanting to fight for us. I didn't think that there would be, but
Why would
you
it?
just always hope that like one last try. We went home that night. We didn't speak. He slept on the couch. I woke up and went to work the next day. Came home. He was playing PlayStation that night. I sat next to him. We hadn't talked in 24 hours. I said, "Can we talk about what happened yesterday?" And he was just playing, just looking straight ahead. And he's like, "What's to talk about?" In my mind, I'm thinking, this is our last ditch effort to like steer this ship around, you know? And I was like, so
right there, this is our last ditch effort to steer
No.
the ship around. No, in fact, you took the helm and crashed it.
Yeah.
So he's going,
100%.
okay, we've hit the iceberg. I got to do what I got to do.
Well, right? That honestly, that's what I would be thinking too. Like if roles are reversed and you're like, I want a divorce. Like for me personally, like at that moment, if things were fine with us at home and there wasn't like constant fighting or disagreements and stuff like that, I would clearly be questioning why. And well, is there something I can do like to fix this or save this or whatever it may be? But if we were, let's just say, constantly fighting all the time, and this is what you said, that's exactly where my mind would go to is, okay, well, you have your mind made up. Like, this is what you want to do. Your mind is made up. Clearly, things aren't working. So what is there for me to say?
Well, yeah, and that's kind of how guys tend to operate is just, okay, that's what's going on. Okay. I'll let this finish.
so what are we gonna do? And he just kept playing, and he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. He had done things within that 24 hours. He had opened up the filing folder of his single man life and went ahead and got all this shit done. I was going to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, sweet pea. I do not feel bad for you or have any sort of empathy at this exact moment for you in the slightest. I mean, you literally told him, I want a divorce. It wasn't like you were in therapy and you said, I've been thinking about potentially getting a divorce. Because then there's that glimmer of hope, or maybe like we need to try something or it's going to result in this. It's literally, I want a divorce. Okay. I guess
All right.
I need to figure my shit out. Like,
but why would you get married without
finality.
kids? Like, aren't you just kind of setting yourself up for this? Like, why would you get married if you don't have kids? Couldn't you just be like roommates or something?
Well, then no, that doesn't. What? If we didn't have kids, I would still want to get married to you. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, because we have kids, like we have to get married.
But really, what's the point? Like I said, we see the overwhelming majority of divorces and separations are initiated by women. And why? It's not because, he abused me. It has nothing to do with abuse. It's irreconcilable differences. And what is that? I don't know. He didn't make me feel a certain way anymore. And I liked getting the messages on Instagram or whatever, or I started talking to someone else and they made me feel special. Rather than the person that busted their ass working 16 hours so that you could, go and pursue your career with no holdbacks or no concerns. But when she said, I want a divorce, all right, see you later.
Well, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't in his mind. Like, I don't know these people. I don't know their backstory, but I can't see like.
And do you though?
What?
Do you though?
Do I what?
You don't know these people?
No. Like,
Come on.
what? They're not
Clearly
my
you-
BFFs. I don't know them.
What did she ask? What did she say in that? What did she say? She wanted that little, oh, that one more where you'll fight for me and you'll do all this. She
Well-
wanted to fall in. She wanted that cat and mouse chase. She wanted that instead of, how about shit's just comfortable now? It's just, I don't have to put on this facade. I don't have to try and do this or that. You know, like, it's just, you're not even willing to fight. He's like, what's there to fight for? It's done.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't know their backstory. I don't know what they're like in their relationship and stuff like that. Like, if the thing is, to me, it sounds very much like she said, I want a divorce, but she didn't actually mean that I wanted a divorce. She wanted him to fight. She wanted him to do something. Instead of saying, like, instead of just putting that threat out there or that finality out there, like, I want a divorce, could have just been like, hey, I'm like, shit's going south here. And either you need to show me that you want to be with me, or we're going to end up in this way. But that's not what she did. So the thing is, at that point, why would he try and fight?
Well, if you're
Like,
already going to like marriage counseling, obviously shit's already rough. And typically, like I said, women will seek a therapist that confirms their issues and blames the man. That's typically.
Typically, yes. And I think that that's wrong. I think, like, when we were seeing that psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, that was actually for our kid, we would have talks with him too. And he was very much not on my side. He was not on your side. Like, he was very, or at certain times he would be on your side and would say something, and I would, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, or vice versa.
But you obviously don't look at like any fucking statistics ever.
No,
because the overwhelming majority of couples go into counseling, the woman will hate it, because if the counselor says, hey, Kim, well, why are you doing this? Why are you nitpicking this? Why are you attacking this? Tyler, how are you feeling about that? And if the therapist, typically, if it goes against the woman, she hates it. She doesn't want to come back. He's terrible or she's terrible. But if it's a therapist that actually sides with the woman and attacks the man, typically she likes that therapist because it's absolving her of any and all responsibility. So I'm looking at the statistics right now. Women initiate the majority of divorces in heterosexual males, ranging between 60 to 70%. The rate of divorce initiated by women is significantly higher among college education couples, is 90%. 90. And it's not because of abuse. It's irreconcilable differences. He didn't make me feel a certain way.
I gotta say that I will put out there to any woman who is watching this, you're doing it wrong. Like, just trying to have somebody to affirm what you're saying, that's what you have your friends for. That's what you got your girls for. But if you actually want to try and fix things with
look at women now,
your other half, like, you should be seeing somebody who's impartial.
But how do your girlfriends, let's say, how would they respond? Well, let's say, I know, because some of them are a little kooky. There's very few.
All right.
But typically, how did the sisterhood act? If you were with a guy, they were like cutting him down. Yeah. Until the point where you went, yeah, I left him. And they went, yay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I became happy. And then they're like, well, I got nothing to bitch about anymore. So
yeah, see you later.
Yeah. The only one I will say, the only one is my guy friend that you know. And he is the only one that's actually been like straight up with a lot of stuff. Like he'll tell me from the guy's point of view, or he'll be like, "You're being stupid." You know what? You're right. But again, it's coming from a guy's point of view, which, and to be completely honest, I feel like that is literally what more, if a woman actually wants to save her relationship and she's trying to understand, you should go to a man. You should go to a man who is going to help you understand that side. Because the thing is, no matter what relationship I'm in, whether I'm in a friendship, whether it's our relationship, our kids' relationship, if I'm doing something that's upsetting you, tell me, because I would rather try to change the way that I'm doing things to make things better, or maybe explain myself, because I don't want to hurt anybody. So if you actually truly want to make it work with your other half, well, then you should put in that work, that effort. And the thing is, like, for me personally, I've worked with men, I've worked with women. And if it came to a relationship and I was struggling with my husband, I would want to see a man. I would want to have that other point of view. But that's just me personally. I'm not a walking female statistic. So, and I was seeing your messages here. Nokian, you had said he was probably devastated and did what he thought was right. And I agree with that too. He probably heard the news and was like, oh my God, okay, well, clearly she doesn't want to be with me anymore. And just literally went into work mode. Like, I got to do this, I got to do that, da, 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 da.
Yeah, I think it was like I've been in those relationships where the person's just like, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's like, oh God, thank God. Like, I was already thinking it, thank God you pulled the trigger.
Whew. Right?
But
yeah, that could have been too.
Like, you know what? Maybe I'll play this again, because I don't think you're really grasping on what she's actually saying.
To tell him that I wanted a divorce, I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him.
Okay, so she contacted a marriage counselor. So stuff was already rocky.
Yeah.
Stuff was already going bad.
Mm-hmm.
That I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present. Got us in like ASAP, like 2 days later. And I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. We sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? Therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. You know, it's hard for me to like say the words. I'm done.
There you go. I'm done. It's not I feel or I'm trying or whatever. Yeah. I'm done. That is finite. That is, the decision has been made. There is no discussion. So me as a guy, I'm going, all right. Like, and especially like with how old I am now, please go. Save me the trouble.
Fuck you, for one.
No,
and two.
No, but
no. Okay. If you'd actually like rewind our conversation, I legit said, if she had said something like, I feel like this is going to end up this way, or that we're going to, you know, that I might want a divorce or something like that. And I said, but she said, this is what I want. I'm done. Like, rewind Jamie, where are you? Rewind this shit. Show, like, I get what it was.
He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me.
Why would you be crying? You were the one that initiated. You instigated it. You you didn't even give an ultimatum. You just said, this is what's happening. All right.
Okay. To be fair, though, in that retrospect, just because somebody has made up their mind doesn't mean it's not hard. So I can understand I'm crying, but she made up her mind. So my shocking point is, or not shocking, but my question is, why are you shocked that he's like just said, okay, or started getting his shit in order? Like, you literally said, I'm done. What is there for him to say?
God, in fact, it's saying, in contrast, men are more likely to contemplate divorce with a 2023 survey suggesting that more men than women, doesn't give a stat, have considered ending their marriage, highlighting a potential gap between contemplation and action. So men are kind of like, well, can this be fixed or something? And women are just like, I could find something better. Men work to provide. We provide. We amass resources like fucking Smaug. We gather our treasure. We hoard it. And then when the thieving little goblins or little hobbits show up to come and steal it, yeah, I think we might become a little ornery. And he's just, well, at least I get what's mine. Maybe he actually got to play PlayStation where she wasn't nagging the fuck out of him.
Maybe.
Like he did what he had to do for the day, and he's like, you know what? I just gotta turn off for a bit. I'm out of here. And of course, you instigated it. You started it, and then it's like, can we talk? What's there to talk about? See ya. I'm out of here. I'm just waiting for the apartment to open up.
Well, right? Can we talk about what happened? You said you were done, so I'm doing as you wish. I'm fucking leaving. What do you want? Like I
But this is how women tend to kind of go. If there's someone online or someone that says, I tell you sweet nothings in your ear, and it could be so much better, and blah 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 blah. Like, it's typically the women that have it. Like, how were you there actually supporting him in his decisions? Were you actually willing to maybe skirt some stuff when after him working a 10, 12, 14-hour day, and he says, you know what? I could really go for lasagna today. And you go, you know what? No, I made quinoa and fucking dragon fruit salad. This is what you're having. He's like, I don't need this.
I don't want it. Yeah. I wanted some nice comfort food.
Yeah. Like, hey, I've been busting my ass. And obviously I don't know their marital relationship, but you could see like I'm a boss woman. He didn't mind my career or whatever. This is just what maybe I'm projecting like super hard, but that's the feeling I'm getting. He is busting his ass and she's like, he's not there for me or whatever excuse she wants to use. But one thing I've noticed in relationships, especially in long-term committed relationships, if you cannot have two kings. You cannot have two kings.
Or two queens.
No, they divorce much more than hetero couples, and their abuse is the worst.
Go figure.
So you can't have that. Either someone has to lead and someone has to be subservient, or the word that women seem to hate so much, submit. Either that, or however it is, whether the woman takes charge and the man just like, yeah, whatever you want, honey. You're a bit of a cuck, or a bit of a wait, a bit of a
Beta.
There we go. I'm like, come on, you can do it.
I already did it once. So that's how a lot of how I see this type of stuff plays out. You have a woman who it's vying for control. He wanted to sit down and just play PlayStation after a long day's work and maybe a nice warm meal. And she went, no. Yeah. He needs to submit to my career. But what about me? What am I doing? Instead of thinking, holy shit, he's busting his ass. He's pulling power lines. He's digging out ditches. He's doing whatever he needs to do. And you went, what about my career? Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's the thing too, though, is like in a relationship, you have to be encouraging or supportive is the word I'm looking for on both sides. Like it can't just be constantly one side supporting the other while the other side complains all the time or doesn't support. Like
You cannot have two kings.
No, you can't.
You know, there's the saying of like happy wife, happy life. Nah. Happy king, happy kingdom.
I think it's both.
Nah.
Yeah, because if you have a happy wife, then she makes the kingdom great for you. If you don't have a happy wife, then she will be like, nah, fuck you. And then the whole kingdom crashes down.
No, yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so. And you do think, you have to think so.
Oh, you want to get divorced?
No. Because you make me happy. So.
See, well,
okay, yeah, it's 50-50.
I don't agree that it's 50-50. Yes, they can be complementary. See, but a king and a queen are two separate points. You cannot have two people vying for control. So a king is obviously the one who makes the decisions. Because if the king is unkind or isn't benevolent, what happens? His head gets cut off. What happened to Marie Antoinette or whatever? Yeah, Marie Antoinette. You muted yourself. You literally did that
off
backwards.
With her head.
Yes. Because she was playing the look how grand I am. Oh, they'll never rise up against me. And then they did. Guys, we understand that there is a level. There's a level of respect that guys have to each other, because ultimately, if you step over a line, guys you'll get punched in the face. Like, that's just how it is. And women, you guys do not understand that there is that like social thing that happens with guys. You either are the leader or you understand where your pecking order is. But we understand that if you do something that disrespects someone, there is the option of someone socking you in the face. Yeah. But you don't understand that. Like, if you said something actually hurtful, would you expect a guy to wind up and sock you? No.
No, I understand that is a thing. And like, even with our kids, when they've been dicks to other people or whatever, I'm like, one of these days, like, someone's going to punch you in the face. Like, I get that that's a thing. I really do. And the funny thing is, though, that's one thing I actually used to admire about guys. And I had a situation once in that retrospect, because with guys, they would get mad at each other. They'd beat each other up. All right, now we're good.
Yeah.
Cool. And there was one girl when I was in school. She was such a bitch. And every day she would walk past me and she'd slam me into the lockers. Like, she was such a bully. And there was one day I just got so fed up after she pushed me to the locker. I grabbed her and slammed her into the lockers. We literally became like best friends after that.
Well, exactly.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that I'm not going to sit here and take it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was the same for me. Like, growing up when I was younger, my friends when I was younger were guys. And it was the same thing too. There was a bully at school that pulled my little headband over my eyeballs in the wintertime, pushed me down on the ice, and I couldn't even see anything. And I just wound up and punched, and I punched him right in the freaking nose and made his nose bleed. And I lifted up my thing and I seen it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm dead. Like, I thought for sure he's going to beat the fork out of me. However, he stood up, put his hand out, helped me up. And then after that, him and I were friends.
Well, exactly. Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of how guys operate. Like,
and I loved that.
Like a lot of us, like there's a hazing ritual that we kind of go through, and I realized, like for me, like I never really put it into perspective, but like for me, when I meet someone new, I say the most outrageous shit intentionally.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because it's an immediate. Okay, are we gonna be friends? Can I say like some off the cuff crazy crap, and you'll just kind of laugh or whatever, or like I look at, okay, our initial interaction, you know what, we're equals. But then it's your response. Like how do you respond to like an uncouth statement, like an edgy comment or whatever? Is it do you like fly off the handle and act like an immature child or what? Because if you act like an immature child, okay, I know where we stand and I don't want to be around you.
Right? Yeah.
Like I just don't. I don't need new friends. Like I'm happy with my friends and that's it. Like,
Yeah. I think it's funny because like with women are more catty and
you guys are
they're
conniving.
manipulative and conniving, like 100%. And the funny thing is, like, to anybody I show, I'm not the typical girl at all. And I think that's why you and I get along so well, because like he'll razz me, I razz him back. Like we go back and forth. You swear to God, in public sometimes we hate each other, but we're literally best friends. Like it just, because we just go off. But that's but that's the thing. Like women, oh my God, I have some girlfriends, but for the most part, like I get along better with guys. I just do. I'm more of a dude, but I don't think I'm a dude. I identify as a female, and I'm going to stay that way. Thank you.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of statistics and information with regards to this, that the more and more money a woman makes, the actual higher chances of her leaving. And it's not, it, as I said before, it's irreconcilable differences. He didn't make me feel a certain way, rather than actually recognizing what he did or actually is doing in the relationship. So, all right, let's shift here. You want to do your spiel?
Oh, yes, I definitely do. Rude. To anybody who's new here, well, to everybody, we are live every Monday, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, and every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. You can check us out in all the places listed in the description box below, and feed the plant. He's hungry.
Beta. Me see more. Feed me all night long.
Oh, what is
and now for something completely different.
All right, so we have this from the Post Millennial. A woman extradited to the U.S. over smuggling operation on Canadian border, where a family of 4 drowned in 2023. A dual citizen of Canada and the United States appeared in a New York federal court on Friday after being extradited from Canada to face charges stemming from a human smuggling operation that led to the deaths of a family of 4 in the St. Lawrence River. Stephanie Square, nerd, fucking square, dork, nerd, of the Kawasin, I don't know, Mohawk Indian Res in Canada, was indicted in June of 2024 by a federal grand jury in the Northern District of New York. She faces charges of conspiring to engage in human smuggling, 4 counts of smuggling for profit, and 4 counts of smuggling resulting in death. Square.
How is there smuggling from Canada to the United States? That just sounds wrong. I can see Mexico to the States, but Canada to the States, it just seems really weird.
We have the largest unprotected border in the world.
But that's just not the point. That just doesn't seem like, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a thing. That's just so weird to me, but carry on.
Oh no, this happens a lot. It happens a lot. In fact, a lot of the stuff that when it was coming from Mexico, they would come from like southern Texas or whatever, get flown up to like Rochester, New York, and there are taxis that actually have they advertise literally to the Canadian border. And then they get shit, the taxi comes up there. The RCMP meets them at this.
But yeah,
at this
you're literally
crossing.
saying from that way into here. That makes sense. But Canada into the States, that's just weird. Just go. Like, I don't understand.
I know. Couldn't you guys like literally just walk across?
Right?
Like, there's really nothing stopping you now. But I don't know. I guess in 2023, it was still old Dementia Joe was kicking around. So, there's a lot
Wouldn't
that
even
was going up
notice.
with that. Well,
Wow,
exactly.
you left the borders wide open. Like, you could have just easily walked over. Like, I don't understand.
Well,
Okay,
there
so
was
how did
there was that one. Remember, there was that family that was crossing from Manitoba, I think, into like North Dakota. They ended up freezing to death because it was like minus 40 outside.
stop? But how did they freeze to death though? Were
Because
they
they
not in
didn't
the
have.
vehicle?
No, they were walking during
Oh.
a snowstorm.
Bunch of idiots. Picked the wrong day.
So Square was arrested in Canada in August of 2024 at the request of U.S. authorities. Her extradition marks a major development in a cross-border case that required close coordination between American and Canadian law enforcement agencies. According to court documents, Square allegedly led a human smuggling organization that transported migrants from across the Canada-U.S. border through the Akwesasne Mohawk Indian Reservation. In late March of 2023, investigators said a Canadian smuggler contacted Square to move a Romanian family of 4, 2 adults and 2 small children, across the St. Lawrence River into the United States. Despite warnings of dangerous weather, Square allegedly directed her associates to proceed with the operation. On the night of March 29th, 2023, the family was taken to the home of a co-conspirator, Timothy Oakes, on Cornwall Island, a well-known hub for smuggling activity. Surveillance footage later captured Oakes towing a small boat towards a public launch. Within hours, residents reported hearing cries for help on the river amid rough conditions. Authorities launched a search and found the bodies. So the bodies were found months later. Sorry. So we are seeing a bigger trend with this. But more and more people are coming from Canada, entering into the United States.
But I don't understand how they drowned exactly. So they were in a boat. Like, were they underneath and the boat struck a leak? Like, I don't understand how they drowned, or did they just take
bad weather
and throw them over? Like,
bad weather. Who knows? It could have been. Well, this was in March, so it could be. Wind was kicking up. It was snowing. St. Lawrence River doesn't freeze, so.
Okay, but I mean, the people driving the boat made it, so why didn't they? Like, that's just what I don't understand. Why didn't they make it? Where were they being kept that with the bad weather, they never made it?
Well, they were being towed in by a boat to get to the United States side and didn't make it.
But were they in a box? Were they in the bottom of a boat hidden? Like,
motherfucker, did I just read this to myself? In March 2023, investigators said a Canadian smuggler contacted Square to move a Romanian family of 4, 2 adults and small children, across the St. Lawrence River into the United States. Despite warnings of dangerous weather, Square allegedly directed her associates to proceed with the operation. On the night of March 29th, 2023, the family was taken to the home of a co-conspirator, Timothy Oakes, on Cornwall Island, a well-known hub for smuggling activity. Surveillance footage later captured Oakes towing a small blue boat. So towing.
I heard the towing part, but that's just it. I mean, we could be sitting in if it's a fishing boat, like we could be being towed in a fishing boat and it'd be fine. Were we underneath the boat? Like, hidden somewhere? Like, that's just where my mind is going.
They were being towed by another boat.
Yeah.
And whether it capsized or whatever actually happened, I don't know. I didn't see the court case.
They need to give more information, because clearly I'm not the only one that's got questions. I mean, it really sucks. And I get the fact that, okay, people died. So long story short, yeah, people died in their little smuggling thing. And that's extremely unfortunate. I just need to know more detail.
No, prosecutors allege that Square recruited several accomplices for the smuggling scheme, including Timothy Oakes, who remains in custody awaiting trial. What the hell? Get a normal name. Dakota Montour. I'm not even gonna try to. Yeah, so it doesn't say specifically as to why. All they said is that they ended up hearing screams for help later. So obviously they were supposed to hit this launch, didn't, whether they got capsized or what. All I'm saying is I'm using this as a jumping off point for a bigger argument that a lot more human trafficking is now taking place from Canada into the United States. And because Canada has basically anything that's illegal in the United States, Canada just goes, yeah, it's legal. 500,000 people a year? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Which I don't know. That's so weird to me. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around people being smuggled from Canada into the United States. Like, that just sounds weird. Like, once you said, like, okay, Romanian. Okay. And then Nokian's point, can't cross if you have a criminal record and shit like that. But I mean, the thing is, if you came into Canada to begin with from Romania, I don't know if you can come into Canada with a criminal record, even though the people they let in. I'm really second guessing that.
Well,
I don't know.
The thing is, like, we see this going on more and more, but you know, with the United States, like, kind of the thing that kept the United States and Canada so safe is that we have giant oceans on either side of us kind of protecting us. Well, now that that veil has been pierced, a lot of people are coming into Canada claiming asylum, and then they go south, or they come here as a student on a student visa. If it's a family of 4 from Romania, to me that sounds like maybe some type of like refugee or asylum thing. I don't know.
Well, and that's fair. I mean, it's pretty easy to get into Canada, apparently. So, yeah, you're going to pick Canada over the United States because it's easier to get into. And then I'll just sneak into the United States. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's unguarded. It's an unguarded border.
What are you talking about? Our border is so guarded.
Yeah, you could literally, you can literally blow up American soldiers and you'll get a $10 million payout. No?
Oh, my God. Right.
Actually, there's a lot of like terrorist organizations, a lot of Iranian officials. There's been Al Qaeda leaders, Hamas leaders, ISIS leaders have come to Canada seeking asylum.
That's fair. Yep. It's just disgusting.
So, you know, like when that whole discussion of the United States saying that Canada, we can't trust you anymore. You guys are whatever's going on up there. You know, we're not we don't like whatever you guys are doing, whatever type of influence operation that you guys got going on or that you're subject to. And if we're importing 500,000, in fact, Mark Carney said he wants 25% of Canada's population to remain immigrant.
I feel like it's more than that. Like, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's definitely more than just 25%, because I don't know where I'm from or live, reside, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. I definitely see a lot more non-Canadians.
But this this is the point. This is what you don't understand. Immigrants. So when someone becomes a permanent resident or gets their citizenship in Canada, they're no longer considered an immigrant. You see how that works?
Okay, well, that's why I said non-Canadian born.
I know, but that's why I'm saying 25% of Canada's I believe it's labor market or population. I can't remember it specifically. I'd have to look at exactly what he said, but I think it was Canada's population to remain 25% immigrant. And he wanted to keep immigrating 1% of Canada's population per year. So 1% of 40 million people is still 400,000 people.
God damn, that's a lot of people.
That's half the size of Winnipeg a year. And now give those people jobs. Now give them housing.
Don't
Or
forget about the
not,
money.
not even give them housing. Have houses so that they can live in them. Or apartment or fucking something. A lot of people that are actually immigrating into Canada are saying there's no opportunities here. So they leave and they go to the United States. A lot of them are doing that. I think it was actually the Toronto Star was doing a story on that like last year, saying that Indians coming to Canada can't find work and are actually leaving and going to the United States.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Actually, one girl that I work with, she came from India, and she used to work for a company that it was like, oh God, why can't I think of it? Bioscience or something like that. Like the stuff with like deadly viruses and shit like that, whatever you call those people. Biochemists. I don't know, whatever. But she actually used to work with a company from the United States, but in India. When she came to Canada, she tried, like, she couldn't find work here. And she tried reaching out to the company she used to work for. And they said because she's in Canada, they can't. If she was in the States or India, they could.
So I'm looking at, so this is an AI response, so take it as you will. So Mark Carney does not want to import 25% of Canada's population, but I believe, I could have sworn that he said that he wants to maintain. Yes, yeah, I'm getting, okay, well, this is what AI is saying. In fact, his government's immigration strategy aims to significantly reduce immigration levels to address pressure on housing, healthcare, and public services. The plan sets permanent resident admission targets at 395,000 for 25, 380, 365, preceding years, which represent a reduction from the previous target of 500,000. So, as I said, 400,000 people, so still 1%. These numbers are intended to keep permanent resident admissions below 1% of Canada's population annually after 27. As of January 2025, temporary resident accounted for approximately 7.25% of Canada's population, and the government aims to reduce this to less than 5 by 28. The strategy emphasizes sustainable growth, quality over quantity, and aligning immigration with Canada's infrastructure capacity. So that's what AI is saying. But we have this from Mark Carney's bold immigration strategy for Canada. Okay. Mark Carney's leadership signals a shift from aggressive population growth strategies to a more sustainable model during his campaign. Okay, get back on track. Newcomers to Canada, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so keep an annual permanent resident admission below 1%. So 1% of Canada's population. This stands in stark contrast to ambitious under Trudeau, reached 500,000. 500,000. Canada, or I think Winnipeg is like 1.1 or 1.2 million people. But even still, 400,000 people a year, almost 400,000. To strengthen French-speaking minority regions, the Liberals plan to increase Francophone immigration targets to 12% by 2029, rising steadily from 8.5 to 10%. Prioritizing economic immigration, skilled talent. Economic immigration will continue to dominate public or permanent residency, projected to make up 62% of total admissions. To modernize immigration. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Guys, get your tinfoil hats on, fuckers. To modernize immigration process and enhance fairness, the Liberals propose expanding digital processing tools to cut down backlogs and wait times, enhancing legal aid for asylum seekers, increasing resources for border security and immigration fraud. Yeah, okay, because that's not happening. But, okay, so still 400,000. 400,000 people still a year. Like you think, well, and especially with Trudeau's super aggressive immigration, where we were, like you said, importing almost 500,000 people a year. A year. It's still absolutely insane. I think the Americans are going to start actually enforcing even border crossings up in Canada. I think it's going to get stronger. Because I think the United States now sees Canada as a problem.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. 400, 500,000 a year, whichever you want to throw it there. Both of that is just a insane number. That is a lot of freaking people. And I mean, like I said, like to me, it feels like more than that. I don't know if maybe be just because we're in a smaller city, but it definitely, I definitely see more other people than I do white people personally.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna reword this question. So just percent immigrant. Okay, so there's no
Facts.
information. Okay.
Got the money, they can do it pretty quickly. Absolutely.
I could have sworn I see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I just remember when I heard that the 25%, that's why it's sticking so, so prominently in my head. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just misheard. That is a possibility. But let's shift gears a little bit here. You want to see a guy get ran over by cops?
I mean, I don't really like to see people get run over, period. But did he deserve it?
Well, we don't really know. So this is over from Kirk, friend of the channel. He's been on. It's fantastic.
Oh, Kirk. Yeah.
So this is Canada's newest millionaire. A police officer forgets to put his car in park, so the car rolls over and runs over the suspect's legs. Then the officer jumps in the car and presses the gas, running over the suspect again and a police officer.
Stop! Oh my god, are you serious?
All right. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Stop resisting!
Stop resisting!
Oh my god! You just ran me over in pain, you bitch! I don't know that cop. I don't know if the one that was driving was the one that went over to the one cop that he kind of ran over and was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. If I was the cop, I would have legit full swung right in his face. Like, you're a dick. Seriously, you go in there and you push the gas? Did you forget what the brake was? Oh my god, that's horrible.
Trying to see,
do you think he'd get charged the same as a normal citizen would get charged? Sorry to say that when I'm talking. Do you think he'd get charged the same as a normal citizen would get charged for running over a police officer? Because a regular citizen, that would be like, oh my god. And two, I guess he was really trying to get to those freaking donuts. Like, hurry up, I need my coffee and donuts.
Did you hear what they were yelling? Stop resisting. Like,
yeah,
motherfucker, you just ran me over with a 5,000-pound machine and you dragged me. Like, you could hear it seemed like the tires are trying to hop over him.
Oh god. Can you imagine? Why did that?
I turned it off for the video.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? Can you honestly, if I had just gotten run over by a flippin' vehicle, like I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to want to be like holding my body part that was just ran over because I'm in so much pain. And then people are trying to handcuff you in that moment. It's like, bugger off. Like, can you give me a second? You just ran me over. Stop resisting. I mean,
so this is just, I just searched it on Brave. So a Toronto police officer inadvertently ran over a female suspect and another officer.
oh my God.
With a police vehicle during an arrest on Saturday at the Jane Park Plaza parking lot, according to multiple news reports. The incident occurred after officers responded to reports of a woman armed with knives damaging vehicles and a conducted energy a taser. Just say a fucking taser.
You could tell she was tased by the way that she went onto the ground. She was tased and then ran over.
And as officers approached to make your arrest, another officer exited his cruiser without putting it in park, causing the vehicle to roll forward and strike both the suspect and an arresting officer. The vehicle rolled over the suspect's legs twice before reversing, with officers seen urging the suspect to stop resisting. Yeah. Nokian, have you ever heard the what the hell is her name? Oh, basically, like, if you don't hear the ethnicity of a person, they're like black or brown. But if you do, you know.
That's what. Yeah.
Ann Coulter, the Ann Coulter principle of
I was literally,
reporting.
I didn't remember the name of your principal because I suck at names, but I was literally just going to say that because they did not specify that he was Caucasian. He wasn't.
Yeah, Ann Coulter.
Oh my God. That's insane. Actually, can you like show the video again?
Yeah.
I want to like try to like focus in on the driver here. See, tased. Definitely does not look white. Oh my God. That is so horrible. Oh my God.
Fuck! You hear that guy?
Yeah, sorry.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
That guy.
That does not white. So exactly.
Well, but it's typically in a news report. Yeah, the Ann Coulter's Law is a controversial observation she popularized through 2015. Following the San Bernardino mass shooting, the principle states that the longer it takes the news media to identify the race of a mass shooter in the United States, the less likely it is to be a white male. There you go.
Yep. Oh my God.
The vehicle rolled over the suspect's legs twice, with the officer seen urging suspect to stop resisting, the driver eventually regaining control. Both the suspect and the officer were treated for non-life-threatening injuries, with the suspect taken to hospital following the taser deployment. Toronto police confirmed they're reviewing the circumstances. Yeah, you go like this, motherfucker.
I mean,
and then you have your ignition lock, you know, like police cars have you have the key, but you can actually take the key out, so you can't take it out or put it in gear.
Or, you know, you got the little because, you know, there's no more shifting gears. Everything's freaking dial.
No, I think that theirs is still mechanical.
I don't know, but I mean, that's besides the point. I think for me personally, the thing that irritates me the most of that whole video is the stop resisting. Like, bitch, you just tased me and then ran me over with a vehicle.
Twice.
And you want me to stop resist? I'm in pain. I need to hold my body, please. Like, can you give me a minute?
Like,
oh my God.
Like Kirk said, this person's going to get a payout because that's going to be deemed unnecessary and yada, yada, yada.
That is definitely excessive force.
I would say so, but especially that they're a person of a certain ethnicity. I'm
sure they'll get thrown out.
They'll get a reduced sentence because of historical injustice or some bullshit.
I'm sure. Probably won't make any more news after this.
How do you
Cracker box license. Idiota. God, I'd be like, can you get the fork off me for a second? I'm in pain. You're hurting me. You psychos.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hire someone of a different background. Eesh. Oof. Big oof.
That
Big.
oof indeed. Big bada oof.
Like how the like I've had so like one thing in trucks, so like we actually don't have a park. We have our brakes are they're spring loaded, and you have to actually put air into the system. So their default is the brakes are applied, and you actually have to put air into the system for them to release. And you do that once. You do it once where you thought you pulled the buttons, you actually like caged the brakes, or I shouldn't say caged, but when you release the air from the system to apply the spring brakes, you do that once. You'll never do it again because you are paranoid of remember that video that we had of that douchebag on Route 90 whose truck just went.
I was literally just going to say, I wonder how many times he's done that on Winnipeg Wilden. Yeah. Where that guy literally rolls out of the parking lot into an intersection, and then freaking homeboy doesn't even run. Or maybe he did run. I don't know. I think it was like a light jog.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
Oh,
I
no.
wondered
Oh my God.
how many infidels did I run over today?
And then he goes to the truck and tries the door, and it's locked. Oh no. I can't get in.
Fucking wild.
Oh my God. Like, where are your keys, dude? Oh, with the other person driving who doesn't have a driver's license? Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did want to say, on Saturday, we did forget to do our, we wanted to try it out, a little call in where you guys could call in. But so this Saturday, we're going to plan on doing that again. We'll have the link posted or pinned on YouTube. So if you guys want to call in and, share your opinions on things or whatever you guys want to talk about. So we will be doing that Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think with that, let's make like a head and baby.
You say
like
the
that one?
weirdest things.
Kids say the darndest things.
Gosh, dang it. All right. Well, thank you for everybody who took the time in their day to come sit with us and listen to the craziness going on in the world
Or
today.
should we spend maybe 10-15 minutes comments or
Sure.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I like how you do that when I've already started. Like, you don't do this to a person who has OCD.
Why are you gay?
Like, you stop me mid-sentence. Like,
see,
you just don't
should
do
I
that.
should I start doing that? Like, hey, you guys better donate, or
Why are you gay?
you don't want to be
Gay!
No, I can't. I'm not a good grifter. I can't do the grift.
You're welcome.
But yeah, of course, like I said,
Okay, do your thing. What do you want? What do you want?
the panic situation, she left it out of gear. Oh, it was a man. It was a man. How dare you, Todd?
It's a man, baby.
It was a chrome dome man.
Yeah, the one that was run over was a she. The man ran over the woman.
You know what? If she was in the kitchen, this wouldn't have been a problem. If she just was a good housewife and actually wasn't trying to key people's cars or attack people.
What's up with that?
Are you aware cars aren't like sentient? You can't like stab them and they die.
Shit, you can't?
You can't kill cars.
I thought you could kill cars with just like stabbing them with a key. I thought that was like their kryptonite. Shit.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
those cars I've keyed.
You definitely heard the revving and the. How do you, dude? You have two pedals in that thing. One of them you actually have to like reach for. The other, it's actually easier to hit the brake pedal than it is to hit the accelerator.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dumbass. You forgot to put it into reverse before you accelerated. Just saying. Idiot. It would have been smarter for him just to put it into park. Rookie mistake. Wasn't he rookie? Or just an idiot?
Just an idiot.
I think people need to bring that word back because it's a fantastic word.
Your mom's a fantastic word.
That's a fantastic saying. Your mom.
Hold on.
You're welcome.
Our kid told me a joke today. It's like, your mama's so fat. When God said, let there be light, he had to ask your mom to move out of the way.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
That's messed up.
That's good.
It's totally messed up. I don't know what's going on out there in YouTube land over on X. I see you guys. Hello, welcome everyone over on X. I see you guys. You guys over on Rumble. I don't know why Rumble doesn't show up. Like the count doesn't show up on Rumble. It's weird.
Yeah, the count doesn't show up, but the chat shows up.
Weird.
It is
weird.
It's a little weird.
It's weird. Remember that chick? What the hell is that? The chick where like eyes are like trying to run away from her nose.
No.
The hell was her name? It's weird.
You're weird. No. No, okay. I don't remember at all. Christine. Well, are you talking about like Stephen King's Christine here? Because there definitely was a person behind the wheel pushing pedals and not putting into proper gears. I would not say it was a
I don't know.
Car.
I really got turned off of Stephen King when I found out he had a child sex orgy in It.
Wait, what?
In It, there's a child sex orgy.
Since when? Like in the book, or because it definitely wasn't in the movie. I don't read. I can't read. I only saw the movie and then got traumatized for the rest of my life.
Stephen King's 1986 novel, a controversial scene occurs after the Losers Club defeats the entity Pennywise in the sewers of Derry, Maine. The group becomes lost, and Beverly Marsh suggests that the only way to escape is for each of the boys to have sex with her, resulting in a consensual group sexual encounter described in detail. King has stated that he did not intend for the scene to be primarily sexual. Instead, he viewed it as a symbolic act connecting childhood and adulthood, likening it to a glass tunnel between the children and adult libraries.
What was he smoking? I didn't intend for it to be sexual, but I made a sex orgy scene. What?
With children.
I had no idea that even existed. Wow. You know, Stephen King with the whole, like, ever since COVID, he's kind of gone off the rails. But
hold on.
Wow.
He acknowledged that times have changed and that modern audiences are more sensitive to such content. Yeah. I don't know when in the 80s they were like, oh, child orgy? You got it, Mr. King.
It's weird because I actually feel that, like, back in the day, that would have been more controversial than it is now with the way that parents are in their whole drag queen story hours and this and that. Like, and all the stuff that they teach kids in schools. Like, now it seems like they're trying really hard to bring Epstein's Island to the entire world. But back then, I would have assumed it would be a lot more controversial because people still had brains. But I digress.
Yeah. These people are, I guess you're right what you know.
Ew.
You're right what you know.
Ugh. Or that's clearly what he was thinking. Ew, God. So I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
You ruined it
I
for me.
completely agree. I don't know. I like there are some Stephen King things that I've liked. And again, through the whole COVID thing, he just kind of went a little wonky. Well,
Oh, his TDS is
even
off the
more
charts.
wonky than his normal wonky.
He
But
just comes
now that I
back
know
to
this,
X.
I didn't realize this was a thing. I
Yeah,
didn't know he did that. That's really disgusting.
Yeah, he just
I
comes
am
back
appalled.
to X once in a while.
Do you love the
and
fact that I
like,
just keep ignoring? Like,
I know.
over-talking?
I know. Fuck you. Fucking hate you.
Okay, seriously, go ahead.
No, he just comes back to X and like spouts off like his TDS and then goes back to Pedo Sky where where he's more liked, I guess.
Where he's more liked in his pedo sky pedo universe. Oh, sick.
I'm still waiting for a response back from those degenerates. I messed
degenerates.
Pedo Sky.
Why? Because you got banned.
Like WTF? You guys are all too willing to defend all like creeps and degenerates who are like making like kiddie stuff, and not like Stephen King, ending of it stuff, but
Ill.
Yeah. Anyways,
maybe that's the thing. You'd be like, "Come on, I want to be one of you. I want to be one of the cool kids." No, I can't even joke about it.
Yeah, don't say it. Okay, we're gonna
can't.
get booted. We were gonna get booted from YouTube if you say that shit.
Not even. I can't even. Like, it literally makes my stomach turn. I can't even.
It's crazy.
There's some things I just can't joke about.
It didn't age well.
No.
Was it just? Is Hollywood? Has it always just been like pedo crap and like occult stuff?
Maybe, and we just didn't know it. I don't know. And then things started becoming more in light with whole Epstein, and then insert everything else that came after. I feel like obviously this whole Epstein thing was really okay with a lot of people in Hollywood and the higher ups, that it just they seem to, and then trying to normalize it to everybody else, trying to make it seem like I think that's literally their end game. It's literally their end game is literally just to be able to have these predators all over the place and it be accepted and people not say anything. Like when you think about like how the world's been going lately and the things that they've been teaching kids, the things that they've been pushing on them, the things that they've been pushing on adults, like it just seems very much like they're trying to make pedos. I don't know. I'm trying to say a word that won't get us booted. It's not working. Child lovers. Oh God, that makes me want to throw up. More socially acceptable.
Hey, remember this?
And that's messed up.
You remember this? It's from ABC. Teacher was assigned sexual fantasy story on leave pending investigation. The teacher who assigned students who write about a sexual fantasy for a health class at Churchill High School is on administrative leave pending an investigation. Eugene School District spokespersons confirmed Friday. So the assignment was, for those students who were absent, you will write a story or a paragraph or two. This story is a sexual fantasy that will have no penetration of any kind or oral sex, no way of passing an STI. You will choose 3 items: romantic music, candles, massage oil, feather boa, flavored syrup, etc. to use in your story. Your story should show that you can show and receive loving physical affection without sex.
I think I just threw up in my mouth. If babe, I tell you, if one of our kids' teachers did this, you'd have to bail me out of jail. No joke.
Yeah, the district confirmed the assignment was given to students, but pulled it from the syllabus after screenshots. Yes, you remember during all COVID and all that crap, teachers finally, like, they got exposed. All of this stuff got exposed during COVID because, well, parents were at home too. And then they started like, you have to have headphones on and parents aren't allowed to be in the room with you and all this stuff to try and like continue their weird degenerate crap.
I think you're cute. It's on speaker in front of me, biatch. Listen to everything you say. That is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. I can't even.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's leave before I start. Writing down names, motherfucker.
Right? This took a dark turn.
Fucking, I'll have to get a death note and start writing names down. God damn it. What's a death note? God damn it. Get cultured.
I was thinking of the movie all of a sudden popped in my head, but what are you thinking of?
Death
Is that
Note?
not the same thing?
I don't know what
movie is about.
I don't know what's the movie about.
I don't know. I've never actually watched the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Well,
it was like, I don't know, some kid like, I don't know, would write down
Apple.
someone's name and then this monstery thing would go kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he would write people's names down and like they die from like a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
And they would, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never watched it, but yeah, that's what the write-up said.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's get out of here.
Okay. Let's try this again. Hi. To anybody who's new here, hello, welcome. Anyway, thank you for clicking on the little button to come sit with us and listen to the craziness going on in the world. Well, we don't disappoint. There's just too much for us to keep up with. Don't forget to hit the little subscribe button down below. You can also check us out in all the other places listed in the description box below, and anything we talked about is also listed there. So you can do your own research, and we're just two schmutzes here telling you the stories and telling you our opinions and not being able to speak English. We'll be back again on Wednesday. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. We out.